Reproductive health. The physical and mental well-being of an individual is regarded as an individual's health. To keep the body healthy, every human being at any stage or any age needs to have a balanced diet. The person must also observe personal hygiene and undertake adequate physical exercise. During adolescence, however, these become even more required, more essential, because our body is growing. Adolescence is a stage of rapid growth and development, and we need to support this rapid growth and development with balanced diet and adequate exercise to achieve physical and mental well-being. That is what is called an health. Hence, the diet of an adolescent has to be carefully planned. You have already learned what a balanced diet is. Recall that the balanced diet means that the meals include proteins, carbohydrates, fats, and vitamins in requisite proportion. Our Indian meal of roti or rice, dal, vegetables is really a balanced diet. Milk and egg is a balanced food in itself. Fruits also provide nourishment. For infants, mother's milk is a complete provider of nourishment that they need. Iron builds blood, and iron-rich food such as leafy vegetables, jaggery, meat, citrus, Indian gooseberry are good for adolescents. So it is our duty to ensure that our everyday lunch and dinner, even the breakfast, contains all the required nutrition such as minerals, vitamins, protein, carbohydrates, fats. We should see that our meal includes these required nutrition in adequate amount. It is more required when a person is in the stage of adolescence. What about chips and packed or tinned snacks? Though they are very tasty, should never be replaced a regular meals, as they do not have adequate nutritional value. Personal hygiene. Everyone should have a bath at least once every day. It is more necessary for teenagers because the increased activity of sweat glands sometimes makes the body smelly. Other parts of the body should be washed and cleaned every day. If cleanliness is not maintained, there are chances of catching bacterial infections. Girls should take special care of cleanliness during the time of menstrual flow. They should keep track of their menstrual cycle and be prepared for the onset of menstruation. Physical exercise. Walking and playing in fresh air keeps the body fit and healthy. All young boys and girls should take walks, exercise, and play outdoor games. It is very important to say no to drugs. Adolescence is a period of much activity in the body and mind, which is normal part of growing up. So do not feel confused or insecure. If anybody suggests that you will get relief if you take some drugs, just say no unless prescribed by the doctor. Drugs are addictive. If you take them once, you feel like taking them again and again. They harm the body in the long run. They ruin health and happiness. You must have heard about AIDS, which is caused by dangerous virus, HIV. This virus can pass on to a normal person from an infected person by sharing the syringes used for injecting drugs. It can also be transmitted to the infant from the infected mother through her milk. The virus can also be transmitted through sexual contact with the person infected with HIV. So adolescence is a period where we have to take lot of precautions to live healthily. The reproduction begins with the fusion of egg, that's a female gamete, with sperm, that's a male gamete. And where is the egg produced? Egg is produced in the ovaries. So there are pairs of ovaries, and in any one of the ovary, egg will be produced and it gets matured, and that process is called ovulation. And after it gets matured, it further goes into a fallopian tube, and there, if a fusion of a sperm takes place, okay, then the fertilization starts and the woman becomes pregnant. And once the fertilized egg moves here, after it becomes embryo, it will grow for next few days here as a baby till it comes out by opening through opening called cervix and then through vagina. Okay, this is the procedure of giving birth of a baby. And we have already studied this year the structure of animal cell. That animal cell contains a membrane called cell membrane, and there are many parts which are inside. Let us not go in details with all those parts of the cell, because we have already completed that chapter. Please recall all those cells. We have vacuoles, right, and powerhouse of energy, mitochondria, and then there is a very important part which is really connected to this particular content, is what is a nucleus. And inside the nucleus there is a nucleolus, and between the nucleolus and the nucleus, the membrane of the nucleus, you will find a thread-like structure here, and that is what we are concerned with in this tutorial. That is what is called DNA material. Now if you can separate that nucleus, right, and see inside, you find a kind of a thread-like structure there inside, and those are the ones which carry our hereditary characters. And what do you mean by hereditary characters? Children, they resemble their parents. And how will these characters flow from parents to children? It is with the help of this DNA material. Right. Now, what does this DNA material contains? It contains a condensed form of a DNA which is called a chromosome, right? And this is what the chromosome which is responsible for our hereditary characters. If you can pull one end of the chromosome, you get a thread-like structure called chromatin, and then pull again, and finally you will find a DNA molecule, deoxyribonucleic acid. So let us not go in detail with this. What we are concerned is about a chromosome. So human body is made up of cells, and cells contains chromosomes. Now if you take an example of a male and his cell contains a nucleus, and that nucleus contains a chromatin, and condensed form of chromatin is a chromosome, right? Now each cell of a male, let me repeat, each cell of a male contains how many chromosomes? Is it only one? Now here on your screen it is represented right now as a pair of chromosomes, right? So there are two chromosomes right in front of you. Such how many pairs will be there in a male cell, right? Is it one, or it's a 5, or then it's a 18 or 22? No, there are 23 pairs, right? Now what I have shown you here, 22 pairs which are alike. 22 pairs means 44 chromosomes. These 22 pairs of chromosome which is present in the nucleus, right, of a male, they are called autosomes. But the last pair, right, which is called sex chromosome, and this is what the pair which is responsible for a human to be a male or female. Now look at this chromosome. Rest all chromosomes are called autosomes, they are identical. But sex chromosome, that is a 23rd pair, is different. Understood? Now it is categorized as X chromosome and Y chromosomes because they are not identical. They are given different name. One is longer, one is a shorter one. So it's a X chromosome and then it's a Y chromosome, right? Now point to be noted here that male human cell, every cell contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, that is 46 chromosomes, out of which 22 chromosomes are autosomes, they are identical in nature, plus the last one, 23rd pair, is called sex chromosome, which is responsible for our sex. Now as far as male is concerned, what kind of chromosomes we have? X and Y chromosomes. They are a bit different. Okay, so point to be noted here. So what we have understood is male cell contains 46 chromosomes, and out of which one pair, that is 23rd pair, is of different type. They are called X and Y chromosomes, and they are sex chromosomes, right? I am talking about a human cell, right? But once he reaches the puberty, he will be able to produce a sperm. And remember, sperm is also a cell. It's a single cell. Please recall, every cell contains 46 chromosomes, that is 23 pairs. And I said this is also a cell, but there is an exception. This cell contains not 23 pairs, it contains only 23 chromosomes. So this is very important point. Sperm contains only 23 chromosomes. It is as if, like, half of the chromosomes from this lot decides the number of chromosomes in the sperm cell, right? It's a male gamete. So we can show those chromosomes in this way, right? So remember, let us consider that one of the chromosome, from here this has come, from here this has come, from this portion this has come. So total number of chromosomes are 23. But remember, from this sex chromosome of male, we have X and Y. Either X can come or Y can come. Now one option is we have this particular structure where sperm contains all 23, but one of this Y has come here, right? There is even a second option where X can also come. Last sperm can be X. Please, this is now 23 pairs where Y is there. Out of this only Y has come. Now suppose if X is taken here, again it becomes a 23 pair, right? So this also can be a sperm. So sperm can contain, remember, the last 23rd chromosome can be either X, or 23rd chromosome can either be Y, because the entire cell contains X and Y type of chromosome as sex chromosome, right? Rest all are autosomes. They are identical in nature. What makes the difference is about this. As far as female is concerned, female cell contains a nucleus which has how many number of chromosomes? Again 46 chromosomes, that is 23 pairs, right? That is similar to a male pattern of chromosome, but there is slight change in this pattern. This has got again 22 pairs. They are identical and they are called autosomes. But the 23rd pair makes the difference, and that is responsible for the sex of the human. This person is female because of this chromosome, and in the male we have seen there are X and Y type of chromosomes as sex chromosome, whereas in the female we have one is X and second one is also X, and that is the difference, and that is what is sex chromosome in the female. Just recall, in the male we have sex chromosomes which decides a male characters, that is X and Y, and whereas in the female we have X and X. Point to be noted here. So again, please keep this in the mind. For female, the sex chromosome is X and X. For male, the sex chromosome is X and Y. These are the part of chromosomes of the entire cell. Now as far as egg is concerned, once this girl reaches the puberty and it produces the female gamete, which is called ovum, or it is called egg, which contains, it's a single cell now, again it's single cell just like a sperm. Now that single cell doesn't contain 46 chromosomes, it contains only 23 chromosomes, right? Remember this. So male sperm contains 23 chromosomes and female egg contains 23 chromosomes, right? And finally it becomes a 46 chromosomes in the baby, which is just like a pattern of chromosome in any human cell, right? But here, if you can make 23 chromosome arrangement here, it will be like this. So suppose if you take one of each chromosome, right, you will have 23 chromosomes. But remember this, out of this both are X, so there is a pattern always possible that only X chromosome will stay here in egg. So this is what the difference is. Please remember that the egg of the female contains 23 chromosomes, where the last sex chromosome is X, whereas female it can be either X or Y, right? Just like how it is shown on your screen. The female egg will have this pattern. Again, you remember X chromosome as a sex chromosome, which decides sex of a baby, right? But for male, either he can have a Y in his sperm or he can have X in his sperm, because in his cell we have X and Y, whereas in woman it is only X and X. Whichever it gives, it will be X only here. Now coming to a conclusion. When the egg and sperm combines, when there is a fusion of egg and sperm, either this sperm or this sperm will combine with this sperm, right? Now if this particular sperm, where Y is dominant here, combines with egg, then the total 46 chromosomes contains last X and Y, and X and Y chromosome is of male chromosome. That's why male boy, that is a baby boy, will born. Suppose if in place of this chromosome, if this person donates a sperm which contains X as a dominant chromosome, okay, then what pattern will come? X and X pattern will come. So what is the X and X pattern? X and X pattern is of female. So baby girl will born, right? Once again, a female can give only one pattern of egg. That is, it will contain X type of chromosome because it has got X and X. I am repeating it because you have to follow this properly. This is a very important information. And out of these two type of sperms, if a person is able to give this particular kind of sperm where Y chromosome is existed, then the pattern will be like this. Okay, so this contained 46 chromosomes, where what are the sex chromosomes? Sex chromosomes are of X and Y type, and so who will have this X and Y type of chromosome? Male. So the baby which is born with this combination is baby boy, right? Now who is responsible for the baby boy? Who will give Y type of chromosomes? It's obviously a male. So it is a male who will contribute Y chromosome to the newborn baby to make him a boy, right? And it is again a male who can contribute X chromosomes, right? And the pattern will be again X and X. And who has this X and X pattern? It's a female cell will have a X and X pattern. Therefore again, who is responsible for the baby girl? It's again a male. A male can contribute either X or he can contribute Y, right? So female can contribute only X. Okay, so in this combination it's a baby girl. So therefore please remember, it is not the woman who is really responsible for the birth of the sex of a baby, whether it's a girl or a boy. It's a chromosome which is responsible, and particularly that chromosome which is donated by through sperm by the male, right? So see you in the next video tutorial. Thank you very much.